Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more Project Zomboid, and today we're playing The Sims, basically. Well, maybe not literally, we'll see what happens, but also need to shave and take care of the beard and so on and so forth, so yeah, we're basically just going to be doing that and relaxing a little bit in our home after, well, a very turbulent episode last time, so yeah, we'll see. I also need to get rid of this shirt, right? The undershirt's fine. The jeans are fine. The boots I also need to get rid of. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, maybe we'll take a look-see at some of the, whatchamacallit, readily available wardrobes that are just, you know, littered about the place. Who knows? Right, speaking of, I can actually rip this denim shirt, which I've been keeping around in the trash of all places. You know. Put in garbage container, there we go. That works, and then I don't have any other boots, but that's fine. Honestly, it's warm. I can probably just stay around like this in the house at least, and then if I need something from elsewhere, I can get it that way. Or if I need something foregoing somewhere else, I can get it. Generator's doing fine. Needs more. It needs repairs more often than I thought it would, although maybe that's just me and I haven't really repaired it in a while and I kind of forgot about it. Could be, but I don't know. Right, well, now that I've left the shotgun and all the ammo and stuff behind, I can probably, well, you know what, I can get rid of some of the food and things like that I've been lugging around with me. And some of the beer as well. Oh, we can celebrate later for, I don't know, making it out alive, I suppose, and being lucky enough to do it, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. I suppose that's as good a reason as any. I'm going to get these canned potatoes out of here. I want to free up a little bit more room in the cupboard so I can put extra stuff there later, and I can get these potatoes placed on the other counter over here, and make it look more like a, you know, like an actual survival base rather than a home where one lives in the lap of luxury, which, to be honest, this is more like the latter, but, you know, it is what it is. Do I have a light switch here? Yes, I do. Alright, great. So, why am I actually over here? I could probably read a book right now. In fact, yeah, that would be great, considering it's like 3 AM and the visibility is damn near non-existent. Yeah, I reckon I can read a book. Mechanics level 3, what do I need to read? Electrical, first aid, nobody cares about cooking. I think I need to finish the tailoring book, don't I? That should be somewhere in here. Yeah, I do. There you go, tailoring. Now let's go over here where there is light. Sit on that. Perhaps not the world's most comfortable chair, but it'll work. And there you go. This is actually a good part of the gameplay that I'm not showing you. It's a good chunk of it, you know, is just this. Just sitting here and reading books. Or just, more often, perhaps disassembling and... Oh, sorry. Very early in the morning. Well, like I said, just disassembling and reassembling the same thing over and over again to build up skill points. But, you know, this is the episode today. We're living like the Sims lifestyle, right? Just out here reading and doing our own thing. Right, so given that we're hungry, we can actually stop reading this for a second, believe it or not. And we can start making something. How do I make ramen? I can't. Right, stir fry or soup, that's the best I can do. You know what? Soup's going to be a bit of a waste. Let's not make soup. Spaghetti bolognese. Let's open that up. Now, let's see. Is there anything I can make? I can make a whole load of stuff with it, including pasta. Let's make some pasta with canned spaghetti. But you know what? Okay, how do I make spaghetti? Alright, craft helper. Let's say make pasta. Saucepan with pasta. And then I can add spaghetti bolognese to the saucepan with pasta. Is this some sort of elaborate joke that I'm not aware of? Eat, rename, pour on ground. No. Do I maybe add water to it? Fill the... Well, let's fill everything up. Actually. Oh, the saucepan. And let's clean the denim strips as well. Right, lovely. Now, no. No, I have to put pasta in. That is funny. That is legitimately funny. Do I have two watches that I'm wearing? Or am I not wearing one of them? No, this is... Was I not wearing it? What the hell happened there? Maybe I unequipped it accidentally or something. Never mind. Okay, so... Bowls of beans, yeah. What's the one thing I can make from... Let's say pre-existing cans of cooked stuff. It turns out can't do it with this. Well, unfortunate, but it is what it is. I want to check something really quickly. Do I have, perchance... No? No, I don't. I wanted to get a spoon, because it makes eating things a lot more enjoyable. Turns out I don't have one, right? Yeah, I don't think I have one. Oh well, never mind. I could put it in the fanny pack, that would be kind of funny. Just have my spoon at the ready at all times. That'd be actually kind of entertaining. Right, let's continue reading this. Speed 5. Speed 6. There we go. Zooming through pages. If only I could study like this in real life, hey, that'd be a blast. I've put all the 5.45 ammunition on the table. As you can see, there's a fair bit of it. These are all boxes with, I think they have 50 in each, or maybe 20 in each, I'm not sure. I think it's 20. Well, actually, it should be 20, because in real life, they came in boxes of 20. Yeah, at least where I live. So, there's that. Anyways, right. Almost done. And that'll teach me the very basics of tailoring, which, well, to be completely honest with you, is not going to be the most useful thing ever, and until I get it to, like, level 7 or 8 or something like that. But it's fine. Okay, flourishing, well watered, nice. it's fine because we have to start somewhere, yes? And now, there's two things I need to do. One, I need to work on this vehicle again, and I'm going to do that a bit later. I need to, like, reassemble and disassemble all of it over and over again. But here's what I also need to do. I need to rip these pieces of clothing, sorry. And basically, I think, grab a heap of damaged jackets, hoodies, shirts, and stuff like that, and just practice my skills on them. What do I get from this? Regular sheets. Alright. This, pretty much the same. Okay. Luckily, there is no lack of donors, shall we say, when it comes to all the clothing here. So, yeah. This will all be fun. Something in the washer or something? No, no. Unfortunately not. I need to go pour myself a cup of water because I can feel my voice going funny from all that. Talking I've been doing. Still in that heat wave that I've mentioned a couple of times by now. Right, well, here's an option. Let's inspect it. I think we can just inspect it from here, right? Yep. And then hole, patch hole, using ripped sheets. Patch hole, using ripped sheets. And so then you can sort of see the condition that despite doing this, it didn't bring it up to full condition because I'm not good at tailoring. However, you can add padding of ripped sheets. You're going to notice a trend here that I keep using ripped sheets because it's the cheapest material. And now you can't add padding on top of the patched ones, but you can add padding on top of the bits of the shirt that haven't been damaged. And so what you end up with is, whoops, sorry about that, I don't know if you heard it. What you end up with is, if you place it on the ground, is a t-shirt that honestly looks just like a new t-shirt. It's you know, it's not in the same condition, but it has no holes in it. So there you go. Pretty neat, right? I also want to check out this Volkswagen Golf? Scirocco? Polo? It's one of the older models, so I'm having a hard time figuring out which one, but it looks like a Golf. I think my grandfather drove a car like this. Matter of fact, still does. It's still in the yard. I'm pretty sure I talked about it before, but I then opened up the bonnet and found out that it's a Scirocco. Yeah, it's a Scirocco S Mark 1 from 78. This is also something I want to disassemble, right? I want to uninstall all of these things, provided I have enough mechanical skill, and move the stuff over to one of these bikes. However, I don't need to do that right now because I'm going to rip up some of these clothings. That's English, Juggernaut, English. I'm going to rip up some of these items of clothing, like jeans, and I can't rip that up, unfortunately, but there's things that can be done. Let's do this one too. What I'm particularly curious about is, if I look at tailoring, how much XP am I getting from, let's say, for example, fixing this shirt? So there's a hole in it right there. Let's patch it up with ripped sheets, and let's see. 2 experience. Okay, let's say I patch it up with denim strips. 3 experience. It's not a big difference. Add padding, ripped sheets. 3 experience. No, it's the same. It's the same. So I might as well use ripped sheets because I'm doing this not to get the, not to actually fix the shirt. I'm doing this just to learn. Which, yeah, you know. Works, I suppose, in some weird way. Add padding to all using ripped sheets. We can use the easier function now, I suppose, because oh, was that a zombie? No. We can use the easier option now, I suppose, because, you know, we've gotten a feel for how it works. And the best thing about all of this is you can actually fix a shirt and then rip it right back to, get more materials out of it. Which I think is kind of funny. Of course, I'm using thread to do this, but well, you get thread from ripping clothing up as well, I've noticed. Not very often, but sometimes you do. I didn't know that for the longest time. I thought thread was something I had to find, and the only way to get it is if I found it, like, out there in, you know, in the wilderness. Now let's clean up all the rags and stuff that we found. Fill my bottle up, and that's it, I think. We can go back to work. Not particularly interesting, as you might be able to tell, this episode, with a lot of just running back and forth, doing things that are, well, not that interesting. However, things which are absolutely necessary, because as you saw, resources are rather limited, right? And so, with resources being rather limited, I need to use the absolute maximum of everything I can. And that essentially is going to involve recycling as much as I can in terms of clothing. And then, of course, obviously, occasionally you have donors like this, which works great if you ask me. And there you go, you end up with, well, a couple of ripped shirts and a couple of ripped jeans and enough materials to get you started on your next project. It's painfully slow, I'm going to be the first to admit, right? This is painfully slow. But, what are you going to do about it, right? In fact, I'd say this is considerably slower than anything else I've done so far. And this is how you level up tailoring, right? I mean, you read the book, and that's it? Is there a VHS tape? Because I don't think there is. And so, yeah. That's it, right? I suppose what we could also do is sprint a little bit, just to kill the time. God knows we're going to need it to run away from all the hordes that we're going to be fighting whenever we leave the immediate proximity of these walls, because that's a thing now, apparently, that they're everywhere, and multiplying somehow. It's actually kind of fun. You know, nature, plenty of trees. Yeah, sure, it's all overgrown, but still, yeah, nature, trees, stuff like that. You're going for a jog in what would, in other times, be considered the park. Now it's just, you know, everywhere, but there's some beauty to it as well. Alright, I'm exerted as all hell. We can relax for a little bit and grab a lug wrench. Grab grab a regular wrench. How that ended up being legular, I don't know. And then, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. I got another piece of thread from there, and you can actually combine them, so pretty good. Inspect this. Okay. I know that, like, I'm 99% sure this isn't going to be a thing, but... Oh, actually, it might be. Huh. Alright, experiment time. Never say that this is a boring episode, because we're experimenting and we're learning things about how the world works, right? Tailoring, 49 out of 75 XP. Remove all patches. Tailoring, 52 out of 75 XP. How the hell that actually works? $56. I don't need to use various shirts. I did not believe that would work. Alright, that is actually awesome news, because that gives us a little bit more of, a little bit more focus, I think, for the run. And not just for the run, but like for, you know, leveling up and our skills and everything. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to rip this up. We're going to go probably like to the street up there, at the end of the street, where I know there's a bunch of undead that we've killed. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to take as much clothing, or rather we're going to rip up as much clothing as we can, carry all of it back home, clean all of it, and then find like one jacket or one t-shirt or something, and just continuously sew it and remove patches from it over and over and over again. Yeah? It turns out that's the way to do it. Play the guitar on the MTV. No, that's not what I mean, but, you know, turns out that's how you're supposed to do this. And we're going to get a load of thread in the process as well. Well, okay, fair enough, maybe not loads, but we're going to get thread in the process as well, which is needed for the little project that we're doing. Alright, awesome. I mean, had you told me this morning that what I'm going to do is, all for like the rest of the day, is I'm going to remove clothing from expired people, the deceased, unalived, what other euphemism I can use, and just look at undressed zombies for the rest of the day, I would not have believed you, but the universe works in mysterious ways, I suppose, right? And there's not much else I have to say on the matter. However, here's the thing. Here's the thing that's really bothering me. That's a lot of clothing in general. Let me show you something. Here's what's really bothering me with tailoring in general. What's bothering me with tailoring is that no matter how high you get your tailoring skill, is there nothing? No. Alright. No matter how high you get your tailoring skill, I can probably just go down the road and pick up some more from like a dead group over there. You can never repair the the shirt, the jacket, whatever. You can never repair it back to its original condition. And let me explain what I mean by that. So let's say we inspect this t-shirt, right? So let's say this was our t-shirt. We got into a bit of a scruffle with someone and we ended up with a hole in the lower torso. Now, we have two options. Get rid of the t-shirt or repair it. Option, repair it. You patch the hole with the best equipment or the best strips available to you, which is leather. There is nothing better than leather. So let's say we patch it up with leather. All right, fine, great. Let's do it. So I'm just going to prove a point. Later down the line, once we get much better at tailoring, this will actually bring the condition all the way up because the bite and scratch resistance will be a lot higher. But, and here's the kicker, you can add padding on top of bits of clothing that have never been damaged. You cannot add padding on top of stuff that has been damaged. Well, Juggernaut, you see, that doesn't matter because let's say you add padding here, it's leather strips. And there you go. The bite, scratch, and bullet protection is 1, 2, and 1. It's the same as the bite, scratch, and bullet protection on the lower torso, where you didn't add padding, but you added a patch because there was a hole, and what you functionally end up with is 2 paddings, right? Upper and lower torso. Even though this wasn't added on top of already existing stuff, it's still a padding. For t-shirts, yes. For t-shirts which have, by default, 000 protection. However, this is only true for t-shirts. Because, let's take a look at this jacket. And it's not even a leather jacket. It's just regular jacket. The lower and upper torso here have holes in them. We're going to patch that hole with ripped sheets, because it also adds a tiny bit of protection, right? And the protection does increase the higher, the better your tailoring is, speaking of, right? Now let's remove this patch, because I got leveled up in tailoring, so I can still keep nice and whole numbers. Add a level of protection there. Right, that's the lower torso. If this jacket was in mint condition, the protection on the upper and lower torso would be 10 bite, 25 scratch, 0 bullet. Because I just patched it, and there was a hole, it's now 010. It's supposed to be 10, 25, 0. Furthermore, if I add padding on top of the left upper arm here with same ripped sheets, right, the weakest padding, I add 1% scratch resistance to the base of that piece of clothing. Which means that if you're trying to fix a t-shirt which has, by default, 000 protection, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. You know, you can fix it any way you want, you can fix it as many times as you want, it's no big deal. However, if you're trying to fix a piece of clothing that has protection by default, you're at a loss. Because there's no way you can get it back up to 1025, the default, with patching holes. Even if I was, for example, on the upper torso, to have level 10 tailoring with leather strips, and I go, right, add leather strips there, it would add protection to 000, right? Whereas if I add padding on top of already existent protection, it would just go up. It would combine with the already existing stuff. My point is, there's no way to repair clothing in the game. You just add padding in 2 different ways, right? Patching holes and adding padding is the same. Adding padding, yeah. Patching holes and adding padding to... That sounds weird in my head. But you get the point. Is basically the same thing. Which makes sense if you think about it, because you're basically doing the same thing, right? Why would it be different? But the problem is there's no way to fix clothes. there's absolutely no way to do it. That's the real issue here, right? So if you find, okay, bulletproof vests are different. There's no way to fix them at all, period. But if you find pants, for example, that's another great example. Let's inspect those. And I'm just going to rip... Actually, I'm not going to rip this up. I'm going to rip this up. There you go. See? Hole. Right shin had no protection. Well, this was a terrible example. Never mind. Yeah, there we go, I suppose. Well, like this also, for example. This jacket is in 0 condition. It has holes everywhere. I can never get it to offer the same amount of protection as a new jacket, no matter what I do to it. And I understand that tailoring is supposed to be sort of armor upgrades that you do rather than armor maintenance, or armor, quote-unquote, right, clothing, but still, it functions as armor in this world. I get that, but at the same time, I kind of feel like with level 10 tailoring, you should be able to at least fix clothing back to their original state with materials. And I feel like that should change at some point. I don't know, maybe it's just me, right? But I kind of feel like that at some point should probably change to make tailoring a bit more worthwhile, because as things stand, the only thing you get from high-level tailoring is, one, the ability to get patches back once you're removing them from clothing, which isn't really that important, because as you can see, plenty of materials to be found from undead all over the place. The other thing you can do is... oh, there's another one. The other thing you can do is just add protection, and maybe you add a little bit more protection with higher levels of tailoring. But it's not really all that relevant. Yeah? It's really not that big of a difference to be like, okay, tailoring is something I really need. Tailoring's more like a vanity project. And with the amount of times I've said tailoring, that is now sounding to start weird, and I reckon I should probably take a break here. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to pick up a few more shirts and stuff like that, and I will see you back in the base for the next episode when we're going to continue, you know, doing our thing. Leveling up and playing The Sims, basically, because after all the killing we've done, like I said a couple of times already, for the next few episodes, it's going to have to be a little bit tamer. And yeah. Hope you're enjoying the videos. I know this is a slightly different pace compared to what we're previously doing, but this is a massive part of the game. And I could do all of this off camera, including like the sprinting and stuff like that. Well, I deserve that. Didn't really realize that was getting in the way of the tree. I fully deserve that. I'm just glad I'm not wearing any shirt, right? Maybe it would have protected me, but that's also, I guess, another thing to consider. If you're not fighting zombies, because scratches and bites can get you infected and killed, so that's ultimately everything you do is worthwhile to protect you from that outcome. But if you're just running around the forest, or you know you're going to be injured by trees and bushes and stuff like that, it's kind of worth it to remove all your clothing if you know there's no zombies around. And you never really know, so you know there's always that argument. But if you're fairly sure that there's no zombies around, and you're playing without sprinters, so they're easier to avoid, it's kind of worth it to remove clothing while sprinting through bushes and stuff like that. And the reason is, if you get... Let's just rip this up. If you get injured, you disinfect it if you want to. You don't need to. Infections don't do anything except make you heal slower. But what you can do is just ignore the infection aspect, because there's no reason not to ignore it. You just need to waste a little bit more time doing other things around the house instead of fighting while it all heals, right? So you just bandage it up with a bandage. And that's it. After a day, a few hours, whatever, it's healed. You remove the bandage, you clean the bandage in water, like this, and it's done. And if you have enough water collectors, water is practically infinite, right? So, there you go. If you have clothing on, and you rip your leather jacket while running through the woods, you can never fix that leather jacket. Because we just discussed it, right? You can add a patch on top of it, but you're still losing the base protection of that part that was damaged. You can never repair the base protection. And so, what's better? Scratching your arm and letting it heal after a few hours, or scratching your jacket and having to throw it away, or basically, maybe not, even if you don't throw it away, losing protection on that part of the body forever. Or at least until you find another jacket. But the point is, one is just an inconvenience for like 2 or 3 hours in-game, and then everything's back to square one and you don't lose anything, any resource, except like a tiny bit of water to heal the bandage, to clean the bandage, I suppose. The other one is permanently losing a finite resource, like a leather jacket. Because as you can see, there's not many of them. And it's not even a question of losing a leather jacket, it's losing a pristine leather jacket. Because you can find damaged ones, but that's not the point. Yeah? Fascinating stuff. I mean, it's... I feel like it shouldn't be like that in the long run, and I'm hoping with the next build and with the next patches and stuff, we have a change. We know, or rather we know, that changes to the crafting system are coming. I'm hoping this gets addressed as well, and that we can fix the base protection of clothing if our tailoring is high enough. I don't want to do it with level 2 tailoring, or level 1 tailoring, or whatever. That would be silly, but with higher level tailoring, I feel like you should be able to not only produce armor that's better than what we currently have, like as base jackets and stuff like that, but you should also be able to repair the armor as well, right? Good God, I used like half the oil. The oil? What the hell? Half the barrel. The oil barrel, right? It's a common phrase, and that's stuck in my head for some reason. I used up like half the water barrel, or the water collector up there to clean all this stuff up. Jesus. Alright, here's what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. Inspect this, and then add padding to all using rip sheets. Remove all patches. Add padding to all using rip sheets. Remove all patches. Sorry, remove all patches. As you can see, not very exciting. I'm going to do that off camera. And hopefully get my tailoring up to a decent level of 3 or 4 maybe. And I'm also going to have to read another book to do it. Which I think I do have, right? I have tailoring level 2. Yes, I do. Tailoring level 2 is right here, so let me grab that as well. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be doing this off camera because it's not the most interesting stuff, and I really can't keep you entertained while just, you know, removing and putting on patches all day. But after that, we're going to see, I'm probably going to have to do another episode of just housekeeping. Maybe fixing up that bike will be an option. We'll see what happens. But anyways, until then, please do remember to like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video and want to stay tuned with the rest of the content and the rest of the series. I'll see you all next time. Have fun, take care, and bye-bye.